Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to EcoNovate 2020, organized by Casper. Today, we have with us a presenter Ajit Yadav from IIM Kozhikode, and including our panel member Ankita Gar. So, the topic for today is research report on impact of COVID-19 on the Indian economy and its revival. Presenter, you can start the topic by introducing yourself.
Yeah, so thank you, sir, for introducing me. Myself, Ajit Yadav from IIM Kozhikode. So I researched on the topic, the impact of COVID-19 on the Indian economy and how the economy will revive from this pandemic. So for researching this, I realized I just gone into the past of the fiscal of the budget of the Indian economy. So I saw that in the third quarter, as I highlighted these lines, in the third quarter, the Indian economy was already showing a growth rate of as low as 4.7%. So after the hit of this pandemic, it affected both the demand and supply side of the Indian economy, and every the shopkeepers, the small businesses, all are affected, as we can see in our outside our areas also. So what is how the government is taking what are the initiatives that the government is taking? So social distancing at home and public facilities, restrictions on mobility, and as we can see the lockdown that we have faced also. So it has not we have not come to a solution till now. So we have learned how to live with this pandemic, as this is the only way forward. So government, what government should do at this point of time, as we already know that government has released a 20 lakh crore fund for the revival of the economy. So for the people of the country, so how it will distribute this fund to the people, this will depend upon the revival of the economy from this pandemic. So I researched, so I found that government is not, like, government is pushing the MSMEs and funding them, and funding the small businesses to grow, instead of giving the money directly into the accounts of the people. So that actually that is not the solution. That giving money into the accounts of the people will not solve the problem. We have to push the MSMEs and small businesses that the government is doing. So there were also critics who said that this is the government is not giving money to the into the accounts of the people. So what the government is doing with this money? But the government has taken a wise decision, as giving the money in the directly in the accounts uh, will not help the situation. So what are the steps that that should be done? So the working the capital should be provided to the startups and the small businesses, MSMEs, so that they can grow their business. So also the taxes during this pandemic, during this lockdown, the people should not be taxed on their loans, because they were not having those resources to pay back the loans. So during the pandemic, the lockdown, people should not be taxed on their loans. So also, the government has opened Jan Dhan accounts, and through those accounts, it already transferred some 500 rupees in the rural areas and 1,000 in the urban cities and areas. So this already government has done this step, so that these poor people will not left behind. Also, the the safety nets, social safety nets, the people should be provided. The main is it's not the in during this lockdown. It's not just the pandemic is only the problem of in the hospitals and the healthcare sector. There are other patients also like maternity, uh, disability, and other peoples also, as there are cases where other the people who have just a fever or something such a like a disease, or ladies who gone to the maternity ward, so for the deliveries, so they got infected with corona by going to that hospital. This is a case nearby my home. So these are also cases happening. So the safety should also be improved and taken care by the hospital and the authorities and the government, so that the innocent people should not get affected. So and also the what are the areas that are adversely and mostly affected by this pandemic. So as we can see that the demand in the auto sector is falling, and as already you have seen in some in the interviews of some auto company CEOs, that I have seen that. So how the demand in the auto sector is declining, and also the apparel and textiles, as the labor is not available for the production, and tourism is affected, and the small shopkeepers, the food retail chains, and also the building and construction is affected. It's all affect the laborers who live on daily wages. So one of the main sectors that pushed up during this pandemic is the tech companies, the Byju's, Unacademy. So their demand for the online education has increased. As we can see that most of the even IIMs and IIMs also are coming up with online classes, and also the students who are preparing for competitive exams, so they are not able to join their coaching classes. So the demand for the online edtech companies are increasing. The educators who are not able to like the demand for educators is increasing, the hiring is increasing in these companies. So and also we can see that the online groceries, like the demand in Amazon and Flipkart, these companies are increasing, and also small e-commerce sites are also picking up their businesses because of the high demand in the major e-commerce websites. Also in the FMCG sector, and retail is picking up, pharma is picking up, and as we can see that the demand for the face masks and the uh, disinfectants is increasing. So these things are also creating jobs in the pharma sectors and the chemical industry. So as this is the performance of the sectors, as we can see that how the performance of the sectors have picked up after the April, March, April. These pharma sector and FMCG sector after the lockdown. So this I have analyzed the pillars or the four legs of the economy: the consumption, the manufacturing, exports, and capital flows, which as these four are being badly hit by this pandemic. And so the what I found was the shock that happened to the manufacturing and agriculture sector, mining sector, and also the construction sector. as these are the areas that are badly hit by the economies, by the pandemic, sorry. Uh, so the lockdown is already opened, and the number of cases in, as I live in a tier 2 city, the number of cases are rising, and the lockdown is lifted today. So the way forward is like we can't stop all the things. We have to live with them. We have to take safety measures, and this is how we can deal with the situation. Thank you, sir.
Uh, so, uh, panel members, you can add some inputs.
Yeah, I wanted to add that it was a nice presentation, but a lot of haphazardness was there in terms of the sectors. So suppose if you are talking about apparel and textiles, then building, construction, auto, you can divide it
Yeah,
in basically supply side and demand side. For example, in the case of auto sector, you said that the demand has been low and we all know it. And
yeah,
in terms of other sectors, building, construction, labor is not available. So in
yeah,
one of the sectors, you are talking about demand side, which is demand is very low. And in one other sector, you're talking about supply side. So you can cover both the things, demand side and supply side constraints during the lockdown or during coronavirus pandemic in all
yeah.
the sectors instead of focusing or writing differently for different sectors. And I felt that there was nothing new in your presentation because mostly it has been covered in newspapers and magazines. So these are all the things we read in daily in the newspapers during the lockdown or during the pandemic. So what was your addition? I just wanted to clarify on that. You can maybe work in future on this, but some additions, policy recommendations from your end. And then supply and demand separately, two heads for each of the sectors.
Yeah, so yeah, ma'am, as you rightly said, the supply and demand are affected by this pandemic. So my suggestions are like for the my recommendations, like for the informal sector, to protect the workers in the informal sector, government should protect them, and through the
And how is
policies.
it possible, Ajit? Because we all know that the government should do something for the migrant workers because of the reverse migration, but
Yeah.
you haven't mentioned it in detail or your thoughts upon the same as to what should the government do for the migrants.
Yeah, migrants are already moving into their homes, and 80% have already moved to their homes. So the main problem will be that how, when they reach into their homes, then what the poverty that they will face. That as they were working in the Tier 1 cities or Tier 2 cities in Mumbai and Delhi like cities. So when they move into their homes, then when they don't have money, then what will they do? So
Yeah.
actually, government is already doing 80% has already reached their homes.
So basically, this is when they reach their homes, that is reverse migration, and
Yeah,
how it impact the economy, the city economy. As in, for example, you talked about tier one and tier two cities where they
yeah,
have been working. So how will it be affected if there are no workers, and what should the government do to build the confidence among these workers who are reverse migrating into their villages? So these are some of the points you can add in your research. I found it very thing at the surface level. You have mentioned everything that the government should protect the migrant workers, and there is an increase in online education, online groceries. But what will be its impact, mostly from the data point of view? There was no data in your presentation. First of all, I felt that. So you can
yeah,
add some data from some reliable sources.
yeah, ma'am. As I already added in from the economic survey and the from our RBI reports.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you said correctly. So I'll try to add some more data points into this
Yeah.
presentation.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ankita ma'am, for your inputs. So thank you very much, Ajit Yadav,
Yes.
for the wonderful presentation. I thank all of you for joining the event. So
Yes.
thank you. And
Thank you, sir.
okay, we'll end this.
Thank you, sir, for the
Okay,
presentation.
okay, welcome.